think one of the biggest challenges that we've certainly got is finding the right audiences. So audiences are now much harder to reach, so getting in front of them is a huge challenge for us. Secondly, it's then building the right creative to actually reach those audiences. So as you can imagine, more platforms, more varied audiences, good creative in front of them across these platforms is becoming very difficult for us to do. I think also cutting through the jargon, right? And we work in a very digital space, being able to assess what works, what doesn't work, what's real, what's kind of sounds great, but in practice doesn't tend to deliver what we want, is a huge challenge for us. I think in reality, what we need to do to address it is about getting back to the basics. So kind of thinking about what we're planning to do, what's the outcome we're trying to achieve, what's the hypothesis. We think very much about the hypothesis that we have, and then how do we go about delivering it. So being very clear in brief writing, being very clear in planning. If we get those two bits right, tend to find everything else comes off the back of it. People tend to want to rush into things and just kind of go gung-ho to deliver stuff, and if we can plan and brief well, most other things tend to roll off nicely off the back of it. In terms of best insight, we actually work quite closely with the Mediacom team to figure out audience consumption habits. Everything is shifting a lot. Last year we were heavily investing in TV. This year, as the audience fragments, we've spent a lot more time investing into multiple different platforms. So actually the insights tell us, where the different demographics are going to view media, has allowed us to become a lot clearer in the planning process. Who do we want to get and where are we going to find them? Gone are the days of just running TV campaigns, and having that ability really to have fresh, up-to-date data has been vital for us. Next big thing in 2020 for me, we need to get to a place where we are making big investments in a number of small things, or big platforms, big investments, but potentially not trying to do too many. So, data's becoming much harder for us to get hold of. Things are becoming a lot harder for us to measure. So if we can get to a place where we do fewer, bigger things, I think we'll be able to measure things better, have a clearer understanding of what works and what doesn't work. With more data, there's more complexity, and I think a lot of people are tying themselves up in knots. So getting back to the base is important. I think we might start doing direct mail soon,